All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I told you we'd be back in less than 5 minutes for our second interview this morning. Mr. Noss, you already been in rare form today.
Yes, I am.
Maybe we'll get some insight from a real commentator on the subject that we were just discussing here just a minute ago. And maybe we can find some way to put you in your place. But at first, I'd like to welcome Mr. Nathan Rivera to the show. Nathan, why don't you, or host Nathan, sorry. Why don't you go ahead and say a few?
If it makes it easier, call me Nate. If it makes it easier, call me Nate.
I forgot, there's two Nathans tonight, so this should be fun. Anyways, host, up to you.
Well, thank you for being here this afternoon. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So obviously, I'm a wrestling fan, huge wrestling fan. Like I've watched it basically my entire life. I love wrestling to everything about it. And as a commentator, I aspire to be like a big commentator in the future. I'm even planning on going to college for it and everything.
Very cool. So let's just get right into it. Before we came on, we did a little preview video on Collision tonight, and we were talking about CM Punk coming back, and I had some pretty strong opinions on what I thought. So what he was bringing up was he was wondering what your opinions were on.
My opinion is I love CM Punk. I really hope this goes better than last time, but behind the curtain, not on and not on camera, because on camera last time he was amazing, but behind camera, I really hope it's better than last time.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I mean, I said in front of the camera I would never knock down what he did, as in wrestling, right? Like his accomplishments, but I don't know if I was Tony Khan, if I would have brought him back, knowing what he did the last time and knowing, what I mean, the pattern that he has of doing it in other organizations. If you look at the walkout with Triple H and
yeah, I mean, I understand where Tony Khan's coming from, because CM Punk was a big money grab for them, and he did help a lot.
Right. Yeah.
See, somebody that agrees with me.
But then again, with the whole CM Punk thing, if you bring him back, you do have that risk of causing something backstage, but it will help your TV.
Yeah. So, who were some of your wrestling heroes growing
up? As a commentator, I really love Mauro Ranallo and everything. I love Mauro Ranallo, Jerry King Lawler, Michael Cole, and all them. But like wrestlers, I'm huge fans of. My all-time favorite is Jeff Hardy. I absolutely love Jeff Hardy because he's the whole reason I love wrestling in general.
Nice. And I believe you might be one of the youngest commentators. I think I saw your profile. You're like what, 18?
I am 18. I just turned 18 this past March. So yeah, I'm the youngest commentator at Pro Wrestling Legacy. Yeah.
Very impressive. Tony, you have a question?
You're on a roll, dude. Just
so, if you had a dream commentary partner, who would it be?
Honestly, I would love to commentate with Mauro Ranallo. I really would, because again, he's one of my all-time favorites. He's what inspired me a lot. Like, if you listen to my commentary, I bring the same energy he has. I even quoted him sometimes.
Yes, I have noticed that actually.
Yeah.
So, top 5 male wrestlers of all time.
So obviously we got my Mount Rushmore: Cena, Stone Cold, Hogan, and Undertaker. And then you could probably throw probably Ric Flair or Bruno Sammartino, because they helped a lot in wrestling too.
Well, that's a great list. That's a first. Our host takes a phone call in the middle of a podcast. Okay, so let's do the opposite. Let's do the top 5 female wrestlers of all time.
Female wrestlers? Now that's a tough one. I would honestly probably Trish Stratus and Lita got to be up there for sure, because they're the 2 of the pioneers of the women's division. I would honestly throw AJ Lee in there because AJ Lee helped a lot in the late stages of the Divas era, and probably Becky Lynch and Charlotte because those two did more out of the 4 horsewomen than the other two.
Very cool. Okay, well, I'm just gonna throw another 5 at you. Let's do your top 5 tag teams of all time. Now, being a Jeff
Tag
Hardy
teams.
fan, I'm assuming that's the Hardys.
Obviously, it's the big three: Dudley's, Edge and Christian, and the Hardys.
Yep.
And then the Road Warriors, obviously, because Road Warriors are amazing. Then, honestly, I don't think I can think of a fifth one off the top of my head because those are the main four.
Awesome. Host, are you back finally?
Sorry about that. Like our third co-host, I had to make a big money move there for a minute. So.
Sure, I'm docking your pay $500.
You don't pay me to begin with, so.
Now, on with your questions.
If you could book one match from any generation, no questions asked, who would it be and why?
I would go with Eddie Guerrero versus Shawn Michaels because, in my opinion, those are the two greatest in-ring wrestlers of all time. They would blend well. The feud would be great. It's just like perfect.
Very nice.
Nice. Go ahead.
So, what were you trained to do commentary, or how did that come about that you became the commentator for Wrestling Legacy?
What had happened was I saw something on Instagram about them wanting volunteers to help with tickets and everything, so I signed up to do that, and I did tickets one show. Then then the boss had told me, I believe he had him on before, Caesar. He's the one who said they were looking for commentators or refs or something, so I threw my name out there as a commentator, and I went in for an audition and everything. I got it. I just started commentating.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Great interview.
Yes, he was awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Go ahead, Tony.
So, Sticky Finger Nos up there loves peanut butter. Anything peanut butter, just because he's got sticky fingers. You know, you got to watch your money around him and your cell phones. You know, because he'll always lift them because he's got sticky fingers. So, with that being said, what's your favorite cookie or snack?
Cookie or snack? I'm a huge fan of the Nutter Butter cookies. The Nutter Butter cookies, I'm a huge fan of them.
Ooh, nice. Top 5 female wrestlers.
Already been there.
Yeah. It was Trish Stratus. It was Trish Stratus, Lita, AJ Lee, and Becky and Charlotte.
Gotcha. Okay, so top 5 female indie wrestlers.
Indie wrestlers. Ooh, I love Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace is up there. Jordan Grace, Deonna Purrazzo. I'll throw Ty Valkyrie out there because I know she signed to AEW, but she still does indies and everything.
Yep.
I would throw some Stardom names in there too. I don't know a lot, but I think I forgot her name. Mercedes is indie now. She's in Japan. Mercedes.
Right.
Monet. Yeah, Monet.
Yeah, and then I forgot the one girl's name in Stardom. I really did. Yeah, I forgot her name in Stardom.
The funny thing is, once you get off the podcast, you'll remember it till like next Tuesday.
Yeah, I know.
So.
All right, so let's do a twist of that again. Let's do your top 5 indie male wrestlers.
Indie males. Okay, that's a good one. Damn. I mean, thinking hard. I'll do my favorites because I can't think of like top 5 good ones. My absolute favorite right now is Speedball Mike Bailey and Zachary Wentz up there. Trey Miguel too. Those two are my top 3 for sure. Josh Alexander, I love Josh Alexander too. And then I guess AR Fox. I love AR Fox too.
Very nice. A lot of people don't talk about AR Fox, but they should.
I know. After Lucha Underground, I kind of lost track of him, and then I found him again recently.
Yeah. So what's the craziest thing you've ever seen as a commentator at a show?
As a commentator, the craziest thing was the street fight between Marty Snow and Classical Lucha Pimp. They were fighting outside of our arena. Then they came in, broke our garage door that we had in there, and then they continued to fight in the ring. Even involved Marty Snow being slammed onto thumbtacks.
Oh,
That's the same story that Caesar told.
yep.
Remember?
Yeah, because it's probably one of the best matches we had, the most fun matches too.
Except for whoever had to pay for the garage door.
Oh yeah,
But in true commentator fashion, he put more spunk and
Yep.
oomph onto it, and it made it actually seem more, yeah. So that was awesome. Let's do. Okay, I'm just dying to know this answer because the younger generation. So I'm just in your opinion, who is the better wrestler turned actor?
wrestler turned actor.
Yes.
I really like The Rock's work a lot. I've loved The Rock's work. I really have.
Very good choice.
Very good choice.
So for those who don't know, how much preparation does it take to get ready for a show as a commentator?
So I get there. I want to say like 30 minutes before the doors open, and then I start going around asking people like if they have anything special planned for the match that I have to look out for, or like notes I need to take down. So I want to say like maybe an hour before showtime.
Very cool. I know when I did a training school thing, I was the commentator, and we did like I was the booker too, so I had the whole like thing planned out. And then the day of the show, somebody bought a belt. They wanted to win it at the training school, so I had to come up with a 32-man tournament within like a
Wow,
half hour. That was probably
wow.
the most stressful thing I've ever had to do.
I can't think of it anything other than stressful. It seems stressful.
Yeah, because you had to deal with everybody, the ego and stuff, right? Because you had to figure out like how am I going to let this guy know he's losing, and then move that around so that
Yeah,
ultimately the guy that had the belt won the championship.
yeah, makes sense.
Tony, you're up.
Oh, are you done telling stories? I'm sorry. Can you tell we do this a lot? He puts me to sleep a lot. Anyways, what
Either that or he's just getting old.
What advice do you have for anybody that wants to get into the professional wrestling industry?
I would say just it's a lot of work. Like you really need to put the time and effort into it. If like Sunday through Saturday, you need the time and effort into it. Training sessions and any sort of promo class or anything. I know we do that at PWL. We have classes where we're going to work on promos and everything. So whatever classes they have, every class you're taking, use that to your full advantage because it'll help you a lot.
Very nice. So did you always know you wanted to be a commentator, or did you want to try to be a? Did you ever like want to be a wrestler too, and then just kind of found commentary when you were working on being a wrestler? Or?
So my whole life I knew I wanted to work in wrestling. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a wrestler because I thought that'd be cool. But then when I got to like middle school, I was like, maybe I can't handle being a wrestler. So I started looking into more commentary. And then towards the start of my high school years, I started looking at maybe writing because I like doing the universe modes on the WWE 2Ks and everything. So I thought like maybe writing and booking. And then since I already had the prior commentary like want to be, the commentary spot was open, so I took it.
Very nice.
Okay, so let's do something fun here. Who's the biggest name in your promotion that you've got to call commentary for? Or
Marty Scurll.
Marty Scurll, yeah.
Marty Scurll.
Yeah.
That had to be really amazing.
It was the match he had to was absolutely amazing. I love calling it. I even lost my voice.
I don't doubt that, and I probably would do the same thing.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about like the the chemistry that you have to build with your commentary partner?
So the chemistry you have to build it helps a lot in commentary. Like you have the play by play in color. So the me and the main one I call with the XIX or Sam, we when I take notes, we share it on our phone. I take screenshots, send it to him. So we have the notes there, and we have it ready to go. And then we just bounce off each other. Like I'll do play by play, he'll do color. I'll say so and so did a DDT, and he'll add something about the wrestler and all that. So
Nice.
the chemistry just like naturally builds and flows in over time.
That makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Okay, so what's the best advice that you're? Well, I don't know if you've had a train, but anyway, what's the best advice you've gotten in the wrestling world so far? And do you
The best the best advice I've gotten was to like expand my vocabulary basically so I'm not repeating myself and say bigger and better things.
Very good advice. So you brought up earlier that you thought about doing the booking. Do you still dabble in that a little bit? You know, like
I
maybe give ideas to Cesar. You know,
I I do have ideas that build, but then I don't want I don't say anything because I don't want to interfere too much. So I have ideas, but I don't want to say them because I know he has a plan and he's going through with it and everything.
gotcha. All right, Tony, you're up.
After it's all said and done, what's the mark you want to leave on the professional wrestling world?
I honestly want to try to cement my legacy as one of the best commentators of all time. I know it's a big say, but that's my eventual goal. I want to be one of the bigger names eventually.
Very good ambition. I mean, if you're not in there to be the best, you know, they say that about wrestlers all the time. Then, you know,
Yeah.
um, so if you could work for any of the four major, let's go four major promotions, WWE, AEW, Impact, or New Japan, which one would it be and why?
I would love to do Impact just because I love the Ultimate X matches they have. That's something I want to call. I want to call an Ultimate X match.
That would be a cool one to call. My favorite Ultimate X moment was when AJ did that like half gator flip off the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that made me cringe and still does just thinking about it. So,
Mm.
uh, so Tony, you're up.
I'm assuming you've only commentated in Texas. Are you wanting to get out and do other promotions or?
Yeah, that's my plan for the next couple of years while I'm still doing school. Because right now my plan is to do a 2 year for now. So like the next couple of years, I want to try to get out of Texas a little bit. But this past year I was limited because it was my senior year in high school, so I was still stuck doing that and I couldn't really leave.
Understandable. Although that had to be really cool to say around your high school. It's like, hey, what are you guys doing this weekend? Oh, I don't know. I'm just hanging out at my house. You're like, yeah, I'm commentating pro wrestling and
It was.
Well, I'm going to be the host to it. So next year, we are planning to do our own promotion for the Special Olympics up here in Washington State.
Ooh.
Of course, our host is probably going to be the commentator, but he needs a tag team partner.
yes, I think you and I would be amazing at that, considering we have the same name too. So
the Nathan and Nate connection because my commentary name's Nate Rivers. So
there you go.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe we need to add a Nathan and Nathan connection. You know what I mean?
So that sounds awesome. I'd be up for it.
Awesome, cool.
So, but you can go ahead and take your question, Nathan. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
No,
I don't have any questions, man. This is your guys' show.
No, I meant. Touche. I like this kid.
Touche. He was right on that too.
He's spunky just like you, Nathan. Or go ahead, host.
Poor Tony, he's getting more confused the further we go. So, worst injury you've ever seen doing commentary?
So I haven't seen any injuries on commentary actually, but I have seen an injury because I'm a manager. I was a manager for the wrestling team at school. One injury I did see someone had put their hand down and they broke the arm.
Oh, ow!
Yeah.
All right, Tony. If you can figure out which one you want to ask a question to, you're up.
Wow. I'm still so utterly confused. And these questions are going by so quick too. Let's see here.
Because we're on it today.
Yeah. Well, I know you say Raul's one of your, but we've got to get the list. Who are your top 5 commentators?
Well, obviously you got Michael Cole up there. Michael Cole and JR up there because they're the 2 greatest of all time, if you ask me. Then more Ronaldo, I love him, as you already know. Jerry is probably one of the best color commentators of all time, and probably Gorilla Monsoon.
Ooh, love that list.
Then you had the honorable mentions like Mike Tenay. Mike Tenay could be up there too.
Yeah. And you brought up Marlon Ronaldo a lot. I was kind of upset he didn't get a bigger run in WWE for whatever the reasons were. I mean, there was a lot of rumors of why, he didn't get that. But so did you guys ask top 5 managers of all time?
We have not.
No, we have not.
We asked so many top 5 questions that sometimes it's hard to.
So obviously, number 1, Paul Heyman, easily. Paul Heyman is number 1. Paul Heyman is number 1. Then I'll throw Bobby the Brain Heenan in there because Bobby the Brain Heenan was a pretty good one. I don't know a lot of managers really. I don't. No, all the ones I can think of. I don't know if they're managers, but are valets like Sensational Sherry, Miss Elizabeth, and all those. Those are the only ones I could think of.
I would count those as managers.
Okay, then yeah, throw those in there because those are the only ones I could think of right now.
That works for me. Tony, you're up. Or the mystery person based on the little block up there in the corner. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, what is the best luchador match you've ever seen? And I'm asking that for our co-host because he loves Lucha Libre.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't. Honestly, I'm gonna have to go with one I saw our local promotion. It was kind of lucha, but a little American style mix too. Kurt Stanley versus El Compadre. That was a really good one.
Ooh, nice.
Or Stanley and Rogers.
Yeah. Okay, Tony, you back with us?
No, go ahead, Nate.
All right. So, who are some of the biggest rivals going on right now in pro wrestling legacy?
Right now, the rivals we have is, I would say, the Inglorious Bastards and the whole Fat and Furious feud because they're still going at it. And then, yeah, that's about it because right now we don't have many feuds going because we're starting our Battle on Star Mountain tournament.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think the only feud would be the Inglorious Bastards versus Fat and Furious and all that.
So what's the craziest thing that you've heard or seen from a crowd since you've been doing the commentary?
I've just seen a lot of crazy fan interactions from the crowd and the wrestlers. Like them yelling back at each other is always entertaining and funny.
Yeah.
And
Like,
then especially being in El Paso, you got them cussing in Spanish and everything, so it just makes it a little more hilarious.
especially if you don't understand Spanish that well.
Yeah.
All right, Tony, you want me to keep going or?
No, I'm just gonna ask that. What's it like working with? I think Gino's not in their promotion,
He's
isn't he? Rivera?
wrestled for their promotion. Gino Rivera.
Oh, Gino Rivera, yeah, he's actually coming back for our Battle on Star Mountain tournament. He's actually wrestling at our next show on next Friday, the 23rd.
What's it like working with him? I mean, the man is the indie goat.
He's really cool. He's a really cool guy. I got to talk to him a couple times before the show. He gave me a little bit of commentary advice and everything. He's just a real cool guy.
And plus, it has to be awesome commentating his matches because the way he moves around the ring.
Yeah, it is.
So what was your parents' reaction when you told them that you wanted to be a wrestling commentator? Were they supportive? Did they kind of look at you like you wanted what? That kind of.
So my dad's a wrestling fan too. So he's the whole reason I got introduced to wrestling at the first place. So my dad's a wrestling fan. He knows I wanted to work in it. So once he heard about me finding the wrestling promotion and possibly commentating, he was just as happy as I was.
Very nice. Tony, you're up.
Go ahead.
So, besides Marty Skrull, what is like some of the big names that like the pro wrestling legacy has, you know, had on their shows that you've gotten a chance to commentate for?
Kurt Stallion. Kurt Stallion's the only other one. Oh, and if you want to count El Dragon and Alco Padre too, since they've appeared on ROH and all that.
Very nice. All right, Tony, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. One more question, I promise, and then I'll get back to you. I'm processing something.
Okay. So, best gimmick match you've ever commentated?
Gimmick match. We had this one gimmick match. It was like an elimination match, but it's called Table Fiesta. It was a fatal four-way. The elimination was if you get put through a table, you're eliminated, and that was really fun. That was really fun.
Nice.
And they had some cool moments too. Like we had no, that was a different match, the same show, but yeah, at the same show we had someone jump off a balcony into the ring and all that. So.
Oh, nice.
And
so what's it like working with a person with multiple personalities as one person?
It's cool because you get to see different sides of them. Like you obviously you talk to them backstage, you get to know them their actual self, and then in the ring you get to see them be the like if they're bad guys, you get to see be the assholes. Sorry for the language, but the assholes they are and all that. So it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
So, what was the longest match that you ever commentated? Like, have you ever commentated like an Iron Man match or?
I think the longest is probably a 2 out of 3 falls match, or just like a regular singles match that went pretty long.
Very nice.
I think they're like right neck and neck with length because they're pretty decently long. So.
So
yeah.
I think our other co-host wants to come in. Tony, you want to send him the link?
Oh,
he sent me.
Is he home? Okay, yeah, hang on.
He just sent me a message. That's what we were doing. So if we can get him in, I think he would enjoy talking to.
Okay, I will work on that. Go ahead and ask a question. I'll be right back.
Okay. So have what you said you wanted to travel? Have you looked at any other promotions? In preparation for that. I know you said you were thinking about like in a couple of years, so maybe not. But
I have not because again I was really focusing on graduating high school and all that, then looking forward to college and all that. So right now that I'm taking a year off before college, I'll probably look more into and all that. I know there's one in Vegas we've talked to before. I think it's Future Stars of Wrestling that we've talked to them before, and that'd be cool going over there.
very nice.
And then there's a couple in Houston that some of our talent worked for, like Cosmo. He's worked for some in Arizona and AFW. That would be cool.
Yeah, there's also some pretty good ones in Colorado, also. So
Yeah, I have some family out there. They mentioned some. I have some family out there.
there's one that we were really like. It's called Colorado Springs Wrestling.
Go Panda.
I knew he was gonna say that. So if you ever get a chance to get up there, you might want to check them out. So, Tony, you want me to ask another one, or you want?
Yeah, I just sent one to Dodge, or I just sent the opening to Dodge, like you requested, sir.
Okay, well, if you already sent it, then you can ask a question. Or
Oh no, you're on a roll, my man. Go ahead.
So, do you think like a disabled character, i.e., like Eugene, would work in wrestling today?
Probably not. The crowd's different. Like I've even seen people get attacked for like presenting a black person wrong. They'll immediately jump to the conclusions of racist. So someone like Eugene would not go over well at all.
It's a very good point.
Like this is the same generation I'm in and everything, but like the crowd changed a lot. Like they get more like sensitive on certain things. So
right.
Yeah. Which is why we said this was going to be a great interview. Being a younger generation wrestling fan, this is very educational for us too. So this is awesome. So.
See, with my knowledge on wrestling, you wouldn't be able to tell I'm younger because I do know a lot. Like I do know a lot of wrestling. I do.
Yeah, I get that because I'm kind of the same way. That's why I call myself the wrestling encyclopedia.
So. Yeah, that's what people call me too. Actually.
Wow, we have more in common than I thought.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm telling you, the Nathan and Nathan connection, man. I'm telling you.
Gold right there, man. It's money right there. It's money.
That's right. That's what big money would say.
It's big money.
Big money.
Yeah, that's big money. So go ahead, Nate.
So have you ever thought about doing like some commissioner work? I mean, you have all that energy and all that enthusiasm with your commentary and with your ideas and stuff. That might be another outlet that.
See, I think it would be cool, but I'm trying to take it as slowly as possible so I don't try to jump my limits or push them. You get me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of taking it slow. I'm kind of just going with the flow and all that.
All right, Tony, you're up.
Well, I'm just gonna come in early. Well, no, I'm gonna wait for Dodge to come in. That way he can do his pictorials and everything too. So I'll wait and see if he joins us. If not, I'll do the announcement in a little bit. I guess I'm just gonna do it, man. I want to hear your WrestleMania card.
Oh, that's a good. Ooh. So right now I can see a damage control triple threat because it seems like they're gonna split them. So I can see a damage control triple threat mainly. Pains me, but I see another Cody and Roman. Another Cody Rhodes and Roman match. Um, I don't know. This might be pushing the gun, but I would love to see Seth Rollins as Carmelo Hayes. Might be pushing the gun.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Seth Rollins as Carmelo Hayes would be absolutely amazing. Maybe another Gargano versus Ciampa, but this time at Mania, because at Mania it could be even better than the ones in NXT. But going back to Rollins, actually, I could see possibly Gunther versus Rollins because Gunther might lose the Intercontinental title soon, so I could see that more as a possibility.
Ooh, I'd like to see that match.
Me too. And then tag team wise, I don't see much. I don't see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn holding that long, but maybe the OC get the titles. Pretty deadly, maybe.
I think and I might be on an island on this one. I think Pretty Deadly needs a character change.
Whoa, that's a hot take.
There's just something about that character that, and maybe it's the way they deliver it, but it just doesn't.
It just doesn't click.
It doesn't click for me. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
they need a little. They need a little more edge. You know what I mean? Like if they would have teamed them with Seth Rollins, which was the rumor that, and he would have given them that little edge to their character.
Yeah.
You know, that maybe would have worked a little bit better for me personally, but
Probably, but I know Pretty Deadly's had that gimmick since the couple of years they worked on the Indies and into NXT UK and NXT. So I think it works for them. I really do. Cause I love them. I'm a huge fan of them. I've loved all their matches and everything.
got ya.
I think host Nathan's just a little bit jealous that it's a ripoff of Breezango.
Maybe.
No, because I didn't really care for Breezango too. Although the outfits were interesting, but that's
Yeah, Rizongo's pretty entertaining. They were the Fashion Police thing was really cool. Then the match they had at Usos at Backlash.
Yeah, that was awesome too.
yeah.
Okay.
So since we're doing hot takes, what's your thoughts on the complete like end of the bloodline with what happened last night on SmackDown?
I'm still not a huge fan of Roman Reigns. I never was. Just the whole them trying to overpush him as a face, like let the sour taste in my mouth. I'm still not a huge fan of him, but I have enjoyed the story a lot. I really have. Like the Usos turning on him and everything. Like I wanted Reigns to lose at Mania, but the way when they kept it on him and done this whole story, I think it worked out perfectly because now you can set up the possibility of possibly Jay taking the title off of him, which I don't think should work, but that's a possibility. Have possibly Solo turning on him too, so there's huge number of possibilities too.
That's the bigger rumor I've heard is Solo is going to be the one that takes it from Roman.
You could go different ways with the story too, because I think the story was that the elder sent him down to protect him. So maybe the original story was like for him to tear them down on the inside or something.
Oh my God, Nathan, He is a spitting image of you.
I know. I said that same thing like a month ago.
Oh my
like
God.
Word for word.
Great minds think alike, man. Great minds think alike.
Exactly. Word for you know, I'm not worthy, host. You can have this interview now.
No, that was creepy because that was literally like word for word, like exactly what I said.
Wow.
I, sir, am not worthy. It's your interview, sir.
So, what's your feeling on death matches?
Death matches? I think they're fine. I think they're fine because there's a certain audience that enjoys them. I think they can be cool at times, but I can't watch them a lot because then it gets overdone. Like I know GCW doesn't do them a lot, which is good because they started booking like regular indie matches and everything. But when like GCW does them every now and then, it's cool.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like if they're every now and then and not like every single match, then it's fine with me. But if not.
So, we asked the same thing to Caesar, but I kind of want to get a commentary perspective. What sets pro wrestling legacy apart from any other like promotion?
I think just our mix of lucha and any different style, really. Like our set of lucha, like we have a trainer who's like one of the original Alco Padres comes in and trains. Then we have Aiden Colt who trains the American style and all that. So like the blend of styles that train and work with us is really sets us out.
You know, one of the characters that's interesting to me in your guys' promotion is, and I'm probably gonna butcher his name, but Beast Boy.
Beast
Where's,
Boy,
like,
yeah,
the chain?
yeah,
I mean,
he's our Jack guy, like the fan favorite, the Jack one who does like power moves and everything.
I can see that. But like when I heard your commentary and it was like Beast Boy before he came out, I was expecting like an over the top like character, right?
Uh-huh.
So I didn't expect like the guy with the chain around his neck and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, so what I think it is like he's a beast in the ring or in the gym or whatever. You get me?
gotcha. Yeah, he's kind of like a Kurt Angle, like you know what I mean? That kind of.
Yeah.
Um. So, uh, if you could set up a Survivor Series match with a mixture of like legends and current day wrestlers, who would it be?
That's a good question. So I'll do past gen versus current because that seems interesting. Past gen, I'll go with I'll throw I'll throw Shawn Michaels in there because Shawn Michaels can do anything good. He could do a spot. He could do like just great moves and everything. Shawn Michaels in there. Gotta have some power. So maybe I'll throw like Undertaker in there because Undertaker could do some cool stuff too. Then technicality, maybe Eddie Guerrero because Eddie Guerrero will put some funny stuff in there too as well. And then uh, it's 5v5, right? Not the no, it's 5v5.
Yeah, 5v5.
So Eddie Guerrero, throw a tag team in there. Get the maybe the Dudleys in there. Throw a little extremeness in there. Then current you could have AJ Styles in there. AJ Styles facing off of Shawn Michaels. That's amazing. And then for the power game match, you could throw maybe Lesnar. Yeah, Lesnar's more current too because Lesnar still wrestles. Uh, and technicality, Bryan Danielson. Obviously, Bryan Danielson is one of the best technical wrestlers of all time. And then tag team wise, Usos versus Dudleys would be good. So that I feel like those just like blend well.
Very nice. And I want to say thank you to, and again, I'm sorry if I mess up your name, Jose Martinez, who gave you
Oh, that's my friend.
yeah, he kind of gave you one of these with, you know, the little, you're doing a good job type thing.
Yeah, that's my.
So, Tony, you back in with us?
No, dude, I said you two are on a wavelength altogether, man. This is your interview, and I'm in it.
Oh, you can ride the wave.
Yeah, man, this ain't a one man show, bro. Come on.
I'm not Joey Styles. That's not gonna.
Are you sure? You act like it sometimes. But anyways, moving on.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Well, you shouldn't. But okay, anyways, I just lost my train of thought. Go ahead and ask.
So speaking of Joey Styles, I got me thinking best your top 5 factions of all time.
Ooh, factions DX NWO got to be up there easily. DX NWO obviously up there.
Yep.
I would throw Evolution in there just because Evolution has a longer impact on it. With Orton and Batista being the top 2, Triple H obviously.
Right.
Trying to think outside too, outside of WWE and TNA and all that. I would throw Bullet Club in there. I feel like Bullet Club has done a lot already to cement their legacy as one of the best. That's all. That's the 4 main ones right now off the top of my head. I'm trying to think of a 5th one, but I'm only thinking of smaller ones like the Brood, Nation of Domination. I'm only thinking of smaller ones. Well, you could probably put the Bloodline too, because Bloodline did a lot.
Yeah, I would go with that.
Oh, the Shield. I forgot about the Shield. The Shield definitely.
There you go. My question is, with the NWO, was it the regular NWO?
Yeah,
or
the Shield would
multi-pack?
definitely be up there. I forgot about that.
Oh, and Jose says the Four Horsemen.
Regular NWO because they did a lot more. They're the ones that helped WCW take off. So yeah,
Gotcha. And then Jose says the Four Horsemen would
oh
be
yeah.
one of his.
Were they really ever a faction? I know they're just like a group, but I wasn't sure if they were like a full on faction.
Well, I mean, at one point they had 5 members if you count Lex Luger as like the
He's probably gonna
honorary.
text me and yell at me now.
All right. Well, again, I want, one of my biggest factions was, you brought them up, the Shield.
Yeah.
Now since they're all separated, and Moxley's now in another company, who was better, Dean Ambrose or John Moxley?
I feel like John Moxley has done more. He has. He really has. He did a lot more. He went to Japan, held the AEW title multiple times, multiple great matches, everything.
Okay, follow-up question to that. Who's the better member of the Shield?
Seth Rollins.
Ooh.
I think it's Seth Rollins. He's a great worker. He can tell a good story. He has a great character, in-ring work. I think Seth Rollins is the best easily.
Okay. Member of the Shield that's in the most need of a character change.
1, 2, 3.
Did we lose him?
Are you there?
There we go.
I would maybe lean more towards Mox because all he is like the guy that just beats the crap out of people. So I would possibly lean more towards Mox because the Bloodline is doing great as usual. Rollins is making this character work, especially as a face. So yeah, I would lean more towards Mox, but I do love what Blackpool Combat Club is doing and all that.
I actually like that. That was pretty good.
I would have said Roman, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I like the new Moxley.
Okay, we've asked this to some of the other guests, especially with the ones that we've interviewed from the Wild Samoans wrestling promotion. Next big like indie wrestler that you think's gonna make the biggest mark in maybe like the next like 5 years in a major promotion.
Might be a little biased, but I'm saying Marty Snow and from ours because Marty Snow he's gone out and done a lot. He puts in a lot of work and everything. So I really feel Marty Snow. It might be biased, but that's what I think.
No, I'm glad you said that because after we did the Caesar interview, I went back and watched some of Marty's matches, and yeah, he needs to be signed to like either NXT or AEW or something because that guy's like massively top notch. So, all right, Tony, you're up.
He is.
Who is the next up and coming? Speaking of Samoan Dynasty, let's just go ahead and throw this out here. Who's the next up and coming Dynasty member to make it big?
Jacob Fatu in MLW. He's going to be one to watch out for. Jacob Fatu has already done a lot in MLW. I think he's going to be bigger.
I actually like that choice. In fact, when I brought up the Solo thing, he was one of the ones like if Roman had to replenish like his side of the bloodline, or if Solo side needed somebody to go against Roman, I could see Jacob, joining that side.
For sure.
Okay. We brought up Jacob. There's a lot of people nowadays that do the BME, which is the best moonsault ever, counting like Jacob Fatu, Christopher Daniels, and then now Tiffany Stratton in NXT. In your opinion, who has the true best moonsault ever.
It's got to be Christopher Daniels, meaning because he's the one who originated it and started doing it a lot more. And then, because yeah, if I'm correct, he was the first one who did it. Then no one else did it. So maybe Kevin Steen started doing it and all that.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Christopher Daniels easily.
Yep. That's a good pick. And you got me on that one. I had forgotten that Kevin Steen did that for a little bit in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of more questions here, my man.
I know we've got a lot out of the way.
Yeah. Let's. All right. Well, where can we find you on social media?
So I'm not gonna throw my personal one out there, but my Twitter you can. My Twitter is n8_322. I talk mainly wrestling on there, sometimes video games because I'm a huge video game nerd too. So Twitter, that's where you can find me. It's Instagram. You can find me at d8rivers_pwl. That's where I mainly talk about PWL and all that.
I'm sorry, I have to say it. This just keeps getting weirder and weirder because when I'm not doing the podcast and watching wrestling, I play a lot of video games too. So.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, I guess Big Money is not coming on. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's announcement time. That's right.
So he's going to make it. I have to be like Big Money if he's not coming on. I'm sorry. So, like Tony Khan, since his name's Tony, he's going to make an announcement to make an announcement. And then there's going to be a next announcement on the next podcast.
Well, there's not that many announcements. But anyways, before I was so rudely interrupted, I mean, isn't it almost time for your thing anyway? We'll get at that at the end of the show. Anyways, our co-host, the illustrious Big Money Dodge, who's not with us today, or maybe he is because there's somebody else on the chat, is making big money moves. One of those big money moves that he's making is, ladies and gentlemen, he is about to start his own wrestling promotion. What's unique about this wrestling promotion is the training school portion of it is going to be done strictly online until he can get a ring. So he's going to have an online training school. Anybody, even current wrestlers, are welcome to join him. It's $25 a session, $150 a month. He's going to start those in July on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Please find him on Big Money Dodge at Facebook or Big Money Compound on Instagram or Facebook, and it's also Big Money Dodge on Instagram as well. Again, great guy. We miss you, Dodge. Come back soon. I know you were out with your dad for an early Father's Day thing, but hey.
And if you need a commentator, you know where to find me.
Exactly.
Hey, there you go.
But
maybe we could, before the show, maybe we could debut our connection at one of his shows.
Hey.
So, again, Tuesdays, Thursdays, starting in July, his very first special guest teacher is none other than the man, the myth, the legend in Southern California, the man who's been involved in wrestling for over 20 years, Mr. SoCal Crazy. So, and that concludes this announcement.
Thank you guys for having me. It was a wonderful time.
Hang on, Nate.
Which one?
You host. Go ahead.
And I want to say thank you for coming on.
Of course.
Please, you're more than welcome if you want to come on to be a co-host. You know, if you see what some of the people we're doing, I think you would do awesome with that too. And you're welcome to come back anytime. So
sounds good. And thank you guys again for having me. It was a wonderful time. I love talking wrestling to you guys. Anything and loved it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Have a
good
good evening.
You too.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this podcast could not be possible without Big Money Dodge, Big Money Exchange, Big Money Compound, Boom Shasta, Jimmy Mayhem, everybody that's included in Big Money Exchange. However,
Rex Disaster.
Rex Disaster, Scarlet Rose, his newest signees, Deontay the King Ford, and I'm not sure the other one.
My apologies, I can't remember the last one.
My apologies too. However, there are other sponsors. Nathan, why don't you get into those?
Yes, our other sponsors is it's the CARE program, which stands for Community Action Reaching Everybody. And to get a hold of the person that's in charge of that, you can get a hold of Becky Bernhardt on Facebook. And then the other one is Bruce Nichols Painting for all your painting, pressure washing, and lead removal needs. And you can find him on Angie's. And before we go, you know that Tony and I are involved in Special Olympics, hence where the inclusion comes in. Starting today is the World Games for the Special Olympics in Berlin, Germany. So, and we actually have, was it 2 people from Longview, or is it?
One person from Longview and one person from somewhere else close to us that's involved in Team Washington, which is where we're from. So I'm going to take this time to do a shout out. Go Kellen! And
yes,
go
that's
Mick.
what I was.
You know, we love you guys. We're proud of you. We're rooting for you from here. And Nathan and I aren't done tonight. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are gluttons for punishment. We're going to come back on at around 6:05, maybe a little after, hopefully for a media scrum with CPW. If not that, then we'll just come on for another little live talk. And maybe by that time, we'll find out if my little panda bear, that's right, Miss Pandemonium, is the new CP or CSW women's champion.
Hopefully so.
But until then, hey, Nathan, dude, you stink. I can smell you all the way over here. Why don't you go get your fleet up? And we will see everybody in about, well, it's almost 6 now. So we'll see what's going on here in about 20 minutes. We'll be back for our 3rd show. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, this is Anthony, Nathan, for our co-host, Big Money Dodge. This is live from the chair with Big Money Exchange, where inclusion matters. We'll see you next time.
Sounds good.